ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। सृष्टिस्थितिविनाशानां शक्तिभूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणमये नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। शरणागतदीनार्तपरित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्याप्तिहरे देवी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। A good Navarathri festival to all of you. This day of Navarathri, we will be discussing certain things about Mother Durga. The topic is Sri Ramakrishna and Mother Durga. In those places in the Gospel where Sri Ramakrishna talks about Mother Durga, we will consider a few such incidents. Once at Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna was talking with devotees, and among them was one particular devotee called Pran Krishna. While talking to him about the world and about the illusory nature of the world, Sri Ramakrishna tells him that if you consider Brahman only, then the world will be illusory. Everything in this world, including you, me, the buildings, family, property, everything becomes illusory like a dream. So we have to accept the concept of Shakti. Only when you accept Shakti will you find a proper basis for the world. So Shakti is, when we consider Shakti, then this world gets a level of reality. So Sri Ramakrishna gives an example of the image of goddess Durga. Sri Ramakrishna says, while making the image of goddess Durga, first some poles are fixed, and upon the poles a framework, and then upon the framework the image of Durga is made. So Sri Ramakrishna says that you need to have the pole in order to create the framework. Otherwise the image itself will be impossible to prepare. So in the same way, only when Shakti is there behind can we say that whatever we see, God, prayer to God, meditation on God, communion with God, and the bliss of loving God, all this will be real only when we accept the concept of Shakti. In another place, Sri Ramakrishna says to a devotee who questions him that does God have form? Is worshipping God through a clay image, is it a right thing to do? Sri Ramakrishna says, you see, if you don't believe in God with form, it doesn't matter. If you believe in the formless God, you stick to your belief. But when it comes to God with form, even if you do not accept the forms of God, you have to accept the love and the feelings with which the devotee calls on God. The feeling with which the devotee of the Divine Mother calls on the Divine Mother, the intensity of the feelings, Sri Ramakrishna says you have to accept that. You cannot deny that. So as far as accepting the clay image is concerned, you know that the clay image is not what we have to totally accept as real, but the feelings generated in the devotee's mind and heart towards the image, that feeling is important. So we have to accept the feelings. And yet in another place, Sri Ramakrishna mentions about having firm faith in God and having strength of mind when we call on God. He terms it as tamasic bhakti. He describes bhakti as threefold: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. The sattvic bhakta, he doesn't make a show of his spiritual practices. He does it in secret, maybe inside the mosquito net when all are sleeping, he meditates on the Lord. And a rajasic bhakta, he has bhakti of course, but there is even show in that. He puts on some mark on his forehead, he wears a silk robe, he puts on a rudraksha mala and all such rituals he follows, which people can easily see and notice that he is doing his religious practices. Then regarding the tamasic bhakti and the tamasic bhakta, Sri Ramakrishna says that he has firm faith in God, he has strength of mind, and he will extort from God whatever he wants. Like a dacoit who will attack his victim shouting, kill, plunder. And just like that, this tamasic bhakta also, he has solid faith in God, and he will say that, yes, God, you have to show yourself to me. I am your child. How can you deny me? So to this effect, Sri Ramakrishna, he sings a song. It's a very popular song. The song is Ami Durga 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 Bole Ma Jodi Mori. The first line of the Bengali song. That if I repeat the name of Mother Durga while passing away, then how will you, O Mother, withhold from me deliverance? I may have been a sinner, I may have killed an unborn baby, I may have killed a cow, I may have killed a Brahmin, I may have killed a woman. In spite of having committed all these sins, yet I hope, I expect that I will be saved when I take your name. So he has firm faith in the name of God, the name of the Divine Mother. This particular song, Sri Ramakrishna sings so many times. When you go read the Gospel, you find him singing this song so many times. He wants to instill faith in the hearts of the devotees. So he sings this song telling that even if anybody has committed sins, he need not worry about that. If he can take the name of the Divine Mother with faith and promise never to repeat those sins again, he will be saved. So here what is important is that the faith of the devotee. Tremendous faith he has. So he has the faith that I have taken the Lord's name. How will I not be saved? I have to be saved. Such is his faith. So this tamasic bhakti many a times Sri Ramakrishna mentions in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And then in yet another meeting, Sri Ramakrishna talks about the devotees' fear of the world, fear of death. Sri Ramakrishna says that a devotee is of course naturally afraid of conducting himself in this world. He is afraid of death, So in that case, what is he supposed to do? What is the way out? Sri Ramakrishna says that we have to take the name of the Lord with full faith. Why should we fear? If the world is full of thorns, we will walk on those thorns by protecting our feet with shoes. So, if there are miseries in this world, fearful situations in this world, we will overcome them by taking the name of the Divine Mother Durga. So Sri Ramakrishna sings so many songs to this effect. He describes the Divine Mother, her glories, and he says that I am your child, and if you don't save me, then nobody in this world will have faith in your name. One particular song Sri Ramakrishna sings, he says that he says, glories of the Divine Mother, out of my deep affliction, rescue me, O Redeemer. Terrified by the threats of the King of Death am I. Left to myself, I shall perish soon. Save me, oh save me now, I pray, Mother of all the worlds, Thou, the support of mankind, Thou, the bewitcher of all, the mother of all that has life, Vrindavan's charming Radha art thou, dearest playmate of Vraja's beloved, blissful comrade of Krishna, wellspring of Krishna's Leela, child of Himalaya, best of the gopis, beloved of Govinda, sacred Ganga, giver of moksha, Shakti, the universe sings thy praise. Thou art the spouse of Shiva, the ever-blessed, the all. Sometimes thou takest form and sometimes art absolute. Eternal beloved of Mahadeva, who can fathom thine infinite glories? The Master sings thus. So here the Sri Ramakrishna is describing the Divine Mother of the universe. He says that, Mother, you are everything. So the Divine Mother is the Supreme Lord of the universe. So when we take the name of the Divine Mother, we need not have any fear. Why should we be fearful? Anything, any situation in this world, we can overcome by taking the name of the Divine Mother. So Sri Ramakrishna says that for every problem we have to run to the Divine Mother. Be it living in this world, be it giving up this world, or be it coming back to this world, being born again. So we have to always hold on to the Divine Mother. We have to repeatedly chant her name. So she is the infinite Lord. So when we take her name, we get strength. We know that we are her child. So when God is infinite, God has infinite power, God has infinite glories. So I, being God's child, I too am infinite. I too have infinite power. When I have infinite power at my disposal, why should I be afraid? So this lack of faith is what makes us fearful. Once we develop faith that we are the child of the Divine Mother, we can overcome all fears in this world. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna repeatedly tells us to do, to take the name of the Divine Mother. Divine Mother will protect us. Those who take the name of Durga, Shiva himself will protect with his trident the devotee. It is said. Then once Sri Ramakrishna goes to the house of Adhar Sen, one of his devotees, to witness the Durga Puja there. He witnesses the evening worship, and after the evening worship is over, Sri Ramakrishna stands in front of the image and he is in an abstracted mood. He sings to the Divine Mother, and after that he goes to his parlor and he sits there along with other devotees. Sri Ramakrishna is still in an abstracted mood. He is in divine ecstasy. So in that mood, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I have had food. All of you can now enjoy the feast. So the devotees are surprised. M was also there. So M writes, why does Sri Ramakrishna say that he has had his food and that we all can enjoy the feast? Is he identifying himself with the Divine Mother of the universe? Is he himself the Divine Mother of the universe? Has the Divine Mother of the universe taken the form of Sri Ramakrishna in order to teach us, the people of the world, how to call on God? Why does Sri Ramakrishna say that he has eaten and that others can start having? That means the Divine Mother has accepted the offerings of a devotee, and that is why Sri Ramakrishna says that he has eaten it. That means he is one with the Divine Mother and all others can have. After some time, we find Sri Ramakrishna telling to himself, "Oh Mother, should I eat or will you eat?" Repeatedly he says, "Will you eat or should I eat?" So in that high mood, Sri Ramakrishna is now identifying himself with the Divine Mother. So if the Divine Mother has taken prasad, the food offered by the devotee, Sri Ramakrishna feels that he himself has taken it. So here we find that Sri Ramakrishna is one with the Divine Mother. On many occasions we find Sri Ramakrishna completely being merged in Samadhi and then coming down and uttering such words which reveal that he is one with the Divine. Once Sri Ramakrishna was in Shampukur. His devotee Surendra had performed the worship of Mother Durga in his house. So the worship was over and the day of immersion had come. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in his room in Shampukur. He was not able to attend the worship of Surendra's house. So Surendra comes to him and he is weeping. He is weeping because that day the mother will be immersed in the Ganga and he will not have the company of the Divine Mother anymore. That is what he feels. So he weeps. He tells Sri Ramakrishna that I have come away from there. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, why do you think that they are going to immerse the mother in the Ganga and that mother is going to leave you? The mother dwells in your heart. So you imagine that the mother is there sitting in your heart. Don't think that she is leaving you. Then Surendra keeps on weeping and Sri Ramakrishna says that, you see, you had invited me to your house, I could not go. But last evening I found that there was a passage of light from this place to your house. This place meaning he himself. And through that passage of light, I went and I could see the place of worship in your house, and that the Divine Mother is being worshipped, and she is graciously accepting the worship. So, saying so, Sri Ramakrishna consoles Surendra. So here we find that we worship the Divine Mother in the image, then we feel her presence, we identify ourselves with her, we are in bliss of living with the Divine Mother, and then afterwards, when the image is immersed in water, we feel that the Divine Mother has left us. So, as long as the worship is being conducted and we have the image, we feel that Mother is with us. But Mother is, in the image, is symbolic. Mother is eternally there. She is eternally our Mother, and she is eternally with us. So we have to have this faith and hold on to the Divine Mother. When we think of God as Mother, we find that God comes very close to us. Sri Sharda Devi, her birth was to demonstrate the motherhood of God. She had to show what God would be as a mother. Her motherly heart, her love for all, her purity, her renunciation, her unselfishness, her spirituality, her spiritual realizations, all of them go on to prove that she was the Divine Mother of the universe herself. So when Sri Sharda Devi led her life and she demonstrated the motherhood of God, we could see what God as mother would be. God is not visible to us. At the same time, we know that God is close to us. He is our nearest. He is our dearest. He is the most affectionate and He is the most intimate. So, the best way of seeing this dearest and nearest God who is most affectionate and intimate is seeing God as Mother. For us, Mother is the most dearest and nearest. We feel very close to Mother. We don't feel that close to Father. So when we look upon God as Mother, we see that we can really be close to God. In fact, we are all close to God. Only thing is we don't realize it. So in order to realize it, we have to put ourselves into a relationship with God. And that should be the best of relationships, the most nearest relationship, a relationship in which we feel that we have an eternal relationship with God. We are eternally connected to God. And what more can be better than seeing God as one's mother? So once we see God as mother, we completely surrender ourselves to our mother, just like a child that knows nothing but the mother. It is totally helpless, totally dependent on the mother. Wherever the mother puts the child, whatever the mother gives the child, whether she gives him good things or she gives him slaps, mother is after all the mother. So we will be safe in the hands of our mother. If we ourselves try to think, imagine, calculate, decide, plan, do all those things, in that case we are taking up our lives in our own hands. Now the ego in us is working. So, but when it comes to divinity, when it comes to God, the ego has no place here. So the ego has to be reduced to the minimum, if not done away with. So when we consider ourselves to be child of the Divine Mother, the ego in us is almost annihilated, because it is mother, mother and mother only. For anything I look towards the mother. She knows, she will do what is to be done. I don't know anything, I'm just a child. I leave everything to mother. So here we find that we completely surrender ourselves. So surrendering ourselves to the Divine Mother, meaning surrendering our ego and letting things happen as she does, as she wills it. So our will here is almost non-existent. It is the will of the mother that is working. So here we find surrender to a very high degree when it comes to seeing God as our own mother. So complete surrender comes. We are completely like children in the lap of our Divine Mother. So this is a very high order of spiritual realization. So this, Sri Ramakrishna says, is very much necessary in the world today. This attitude of seeing God as mother is the best attitude. It's the most pure and most intimate relationship that we can establish with God, and most safe also. So we should know that seeing God as mother is the best sadhana of this age, and the Holy Mother, Sri Sharda Devi, is that Divine Mother who has come down in the form of a human being. So seeing her life, seeing her activities, her love, the way she relates herself to everybody, how much she tolerates, how much she forbears, all this we see, we can have an idea of what God can be as mother. So by seeing the life of Sri Sharda Devi, we can see God as mother. And when we see God as mother, we have faith in the existence of God, and then in the grace of God, in the love that God has for us, and in the redeeming power of God, in the God accepts all of us without discriminating, without rejecting, because a mother will never abandon her child. She may be having many children, but all are her own children. So we can be sure that God as mother is not going to leave her child. If we have that sincere love of God, if we have the sincere attitude that we are the child of God and God is our mother, so that attitude itself will make the mother heart hold on to us like a mother holding on to her child. So the more we become a child, the more we can expect God to be our own mother. Once we develop this faith, then we need not worry at all. Just we have to surrender everything to the Lord. And in fact, surrender is the last word in spiritual life. When you can surrender everything to the Lord, you have come to the highest level of spirituality. And this can be done by a very easy way, a very natural way, a very soothing way, lovable way. So we will love God as mother, and we will proceed towards God, surrendering everything to her. This is what the life of Sri Sharda Devi shows us. We can learn so many things from her life. She shows us how we are to conduct ourselves in our lives. She had put up with the worst situations a person could ever encounter in his or her life. Throughout her life, she had been renouncing, giving up, serving. She served her husband years together, day in and day out, and all she wanted was just to be with her husband and help him in realizing his goal of life and thereby elevating herself. That's what we find her doing in Dakshineshwar. And in spite of all these troubles, her mother heart was there at all times, accepting one and all. And after the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna, she took up the responsibility of spiritual ministration of so many thousands who had come to her. And all of them found a great mother heart in her, a great pillar of strength, pillar of hope. So, when we go through her life, we find that not only we come across a great life unparalleled in the history of the world, we come across a life which is an example to us and where we can hold on to God as mother and we can elevate ourselves. So this we find in the life of Sri Sharda Devi. Now, this Navarathri that is underway, all of us, we have been seeing God as mother, we have been worshipping her, we have been praying to her, chanting, singing and all that. So my prayers on this auspicious day that our love for the Divine Mother increases day by day. May we hold on to her, may we surrender to her, may we make our lives blessed, may we help others also in making their lives blessed. Jai Ma, Shubha Navarathri to one and all. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai, Jai Mahamai ki Jai, Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Durga Mai ki Jai.